A little bit about the book and how it came about, and a little bit about some of the things you've talked about, kind of what you learned.
You know, the funniest thing about this book to me is to be back here in Mississippi with Toyota being, essentially in my home country, coming in here with a plant, because this plant was not announced here when I started on this book. And what my editor at Penguin and I set out to do was find the biggest business story in the world at the time and go out and tell it. And he emailed me one day and he said, after we've been talking about he said, I don't think there is any more impacting story in the world in business than Toyota, period. And I said, well, that's our book. And I went out and got involved in it, and the story really blew me away because having worked with some other companies, often when you have a leader that's very dynamic or you have one specific product, I got into Toyota and I found out, in a sense, even though it's all these people doing this job, in a sense it's a faceless company in that it's a lot of people working for a common good. And so it turned out to be this incredibly exciting story. And then when it came out that they landed in Tupelo, I thought, well, there's a perfect fit. So here I am and launching the book here, and couldn't be more excited about it.
What do you think are the big lessons that come away from this book for people about Toyota or about their business in general?
Well, Toyota is all about continuous improvement, and everybody hears that, but really understanding how that applies is I was talking to one guy once that worked for Toyota, and he'd spent 30 years on the line in continuous improvement. And so he started telling me about how he arranges his garage with kind of a system that lets him know when he's out of toilet paper or when he's out of paper towel, so it never actually runs out. He does bulk buying and keeps them in these colored bins, and the system allows him not to overbuy bulk, but it allows him to make sure his house never runs out, and so they don't have to make a special trip to the store. And I know this sounds crazy, but this is kind of what the Toyota philosophy is about in the workplace. It's like, yes, we're applying this bolt to this car, and this is working because we're making money, and this is working, but it's then figuring out one day we can do this with fewer steps and more efficiently, and changing that process even though it's working and the company has been profitable. And so that is the whole premise of continuous improvement, and how people can improve their lives, how Reed sit here and said, how can we run a better department store, a business across the street, how can they do that? It's just this philosophy of continuous improvement. And I heard it, but I didn't really understand it until I got in there. And when this guy started explaining to me how he manages his toilet paper and paper towel flow better, I got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.